What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh, and I am just your average Joe day trader. So it is Tuesday, the 9th of September. It's about 6:10 p.m. right now, and I'm going to tell you, it was a bit of a crazy market day. I actually have so many things I want to share with you all that I don't really know where to start. Let's start with where I always start, the S&P 500. S&P 500 ran all the way up to 651, 652 today. A nice run for the S&P 500. You can't discredit the S&P 500 right now. The SPY is running really strong. It's remaining really strong. Listen, this is not a typical September at all. Matter of fact, it makes it a little bit confusing because for most of us that have been in the market for a long time and trade the market, we know that September, we should be literally looking at red. We should be seeing a lot of downturn stuff. We should be buying a lot of discounts. Because the truth is that this is the time where, you know, like Chris Sane always says, when there's blood in the street, it's time to eat. And there's no blood in the street. I mean, there is stuff that's running down. There's stuff that's running red, but there's a lot of stuff running green. Today was an incredible day for me today. Today was part 2 of day 1 yesterday, and I'm going to share a lot of that with you so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. But first of all, let's talk about APLD. So APLD today, I thought for sure, because of the run up last night in the post market, where I really literally where I made most of my money, most of my gains yesterday was in APLD last night. APLD ran up to, I want to say almost $15, probably $14.80 something last night, right? I got out at $14.50. It continued up past $14.80 at $14.85. And then fortunately I didn't stay in it. There was a few people that I trade with normally that said, hey, this is some positive sentiment catalyst news. Stay in it. It's going to rally tomorrow. I didn't have a good feeling about it. I know APLD pretty well, how the stock operates. So I made the decision to get out of it. And I'm glad I did, because it didn't rally up. It actually rallied down, and it went to something like 1440 something. And then when the market opened up, I mean, it literally ran down to, and I don't remember exactly, but it ran down to, I want to say $14.03 or $14.13. And that was the bottom today. And then it did like it normally would. It turned around. Candlesticks confirmed for me that it was getting ready to make a turn. It ran up to 1420, 1425, dropped back down again, and then I jumped in. I actually jumped back into it at about $14.23. I rode it back up to $14.48, and I got out again. And I clipped another 240 something bucks, 250 something dollars, and then it ran back down. And APLD, just like APLD. Like my brother-in-law always says, he's actually planning on getting his next tattoo is going to be APLD. It ran back up, I think, to 1470, 1480. And I just went and checked it in the post market, even though it's only 614 now. In the post market, it was already over 15 bucks. It was like 15, 17. So, I mean, like, man, APLD, you are rocking right now. I mean, super rocking. So APLD is my go-to day trade stock, you know, and I understand the company. I know it's trending. I really honestly believe today I was not going to have a chance to trade APLD because I wasn't going to know kind of where the bottom was and where it was going to hit, heading toward my ceiling. Now, the thing about it is it hasn't hit my ceiling because my ceiling on it is at 17 something. So the fact that it went up towards 15, it still has a lot of room to run. But in my day, it tends to run up and run back down. And it had already run up, run down, run up, run down. So it was a little bit unnatural for APLD today. And it did the run back up. So at the end of the day, APLD, very strong result, very strong, successful run. Very happy. Like I said, I pulled almost 250 bucks out of it. I'll show it to you right here. Yesterday was stellar. I made over $1,540 on it yesterday. So, I mean, just very, very happy with APLD. All right, if you noticed a weird shift in my view, I had to switch it off for an issue. I just saw somebody on the side of the road stuck and decided to stop real quick to help this elderly lady. So I had to pause my recording for a minute, and I'm restarting. So I don't know if the view looks the same. Probably looks different because I pulled my phone off my thing. But anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. So APLD, home run all the way around. The other one that was a home run, and there's several home runs, but the other one that was a really good home run, and several people are talking about it. I've been talking about it a lot. And I'm going to tell you all, not financial advice, but don't sleep on this one, because there's some really, really strong potential for this stock to move, and it's already started kind of moving. It's a great day trade stock. I do day trade it often. It's not a daily one for me though, because it doesn't move daily. Sometimes it kind of sits and runs, horizontally for several days. And when it moves, it moves. And a day like today, it moved. And that's Serve Robotics, ticker SERV. Serve Robotics is just one of those stocks that really, in my opinion, is an incredible stock. It's an incredible company. Obviously all about robotics. They've got some AI infrastructure. There's some stuff going on with them that's pretty awesome. They provide manufacturing, robotics, and things like that. Just an awesome company. So keep your eyes on Serve Robotics, but you can look at it here and see it had a nice run today in the high 10s. It was down in the low 10s, and prior to that in the 9s. And just a very good stock. It's kind of like a SoundHound. Like, I compare Serve Robotics to SoundHound. I like to trade Serve Robotics just like I trade SoundHound, but SoundHound's been a lot more volatile lately, a lot more action, a lot more price action, a lot more movement. So you can make more money with SoundHound. But if you want to get into something that's a little bit, less volatile, that moves a little bit slower, then Serve Robotics is a great one. And it moved great today with a lot of things. The other one that I wanted to share, this one was kind of thrown at me last night, and I didn't get in it. You could say I kind of chickened out. I didn't get into it because I wasn't sure that it, listen, here's the thing. All right, I know I'm stumbling on my words right now, but if you call out a stock to me, if I don't know anything about the company, if I don't know anything about the stock, I'm not going to chance it. I'm not going to trade it. You could be an incredible stock trader that makes millions of dollars, and you say to me, this is a stock you need to do. I'm still going to do my own homework. I'm still going to do my own due diligence, because you just never know about a company or about a stock or its profile, its history, its 30-day average, 50-day, 200-day, all these different things that you want to understand, right? You want to understand patterns and trends, at least I do. And I want to know, how does it move before I get into it? Because I want to know and understand if it is a good company, something I would consider. Where do I get in? Where do I get out? What does that trend look like for me? So this was thrown at me last night, and it's a ticker UUUU. Okay, and I know it sounds very weird. It's not like UUUU. It's the letter UUUU. And I watched it last night for a while, and I'm like, okay. And I started doing some homework on it. And I didn't get into it because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a look at this in the morning. I had just finished recording my video. But when I went and looked at it this morning in the pre-market, it jumped up like 20, 30 cents immediately. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me, right? And I'm not going to tell you I don't trust the guy that shared it with me. I absolutely do. But again, I'm very cautious because I'm putting my own hard work, hard-earned money into a stock, and I want to know what's going to happen to it, right? I mean, obviously, anybody with, being wise would make those right decisions. So I didn't get into it. Well, look at this today. Look at it, right? I mean, and I know a lot of you watching my videos, you don't like when I say explosion. I totally get it. I'm very dramatic in how I talk about things. But, a nice rocket trip, right? A nice launch. Look at what you did today. And I wasn't in it at all. I totally missed it. But I'm going to tell you one that I didn't miss today, because another gentleman this morning said to me, hey, I just bought into a stock. I bought it at $9 a share. Not me, he did. Bought it at $9 a share. And this one's going to run today. And I'm like, well, how do you know it's going to run? And he's like, trust me, this one is going to run today. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't buy it at $9 a share. I bought it at the FOMO price, right? The fear of missing out. But I knew, based on what he was sharing with me and showing me the technicals and the data on it, that where I got in, even though a lot of people would have said, hey, that's FOMO, it wasn't FOMO, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I'm going to throw it up on the screen here as well. This is QMMM. Different than the MQQQ, right? MQQQ is a SPY play, but this is QMMM. And this company today basically was in the low couple dollars per share. He bought it at $9 a share, and I don't know how much he bought, but if I had really truly understood what he was sharing with me, I would have bought 1,000 shares of that at $9. It would have cost me $9,000, but I would have bought it, and we probably wouldn't be making this video right now because I'd be out celebrating, because the stock ran. I got into it at around $60 a share, and I sold it at $98 a share. You following me? You all know what I'm talking about here. You understand? QMMM ran all the way up to $303. Now, the reason why I got in it at 60-something dollars a share was because it had already halted 5 or 6 times, and every halt proved uptrend, right? So in this stock, while they tried to slow it down and they halted it, every time it opened up, it ran up. Matter of fact, when I bought it at 60-something dollars a share, it immediately halted, and I sat there thinking, oh, this is going to be good, right? And listen, there's risk in it. I wasn't worried that it might have dropped, but it ran all the way up, and it hit over $100, and I was like, okay, game over for me. See profit, take profit. I'm not going to stress over this. So I took profit at $98. Did pretty good. I mean, I only bought like 10 shares of it, right? Just, being in the game. Because it's $60, right? I'm not going to buy 1,000 shares of something that's $60. But if I would have bought the 1,000 shares at $9 and it went to $303, then you're talking a $291 per share profit, a $291,000 profit. Yeah, I would have been pretty well set. That would have been probably the best trade I had ever had going on, but I didn't. I bought 10 shares, sold it at 98. Did well. Okay, $40 a share, so I made about $400, which is very, very good. I'm very, very happy with it. But yeah, some folks, including the guy that told me to buy it $9 a share, probably made several $100,000 on it. But hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. Life-changing. Would have been life-changing. Anyway, I also wanted to share with you, speaking of APLD, there's a new, and I'm not sure if it's an ETF. It's actually a 2X for a group of companies, but it's called APLX, and it is driven by APLD. And it was not released today. I was actually watching to see, and it wasn't released today, and now it's released, and it looks like this, and it's at $29 per share. But APLX is a 2X. So when APLD is running up on a 1X on a regular, then you could play APLX and it'd be on a 2X. And that's pretty incredible. And the other way you could look at it is you can't do options on it. You can only trade shares. But the way I know how APLD runs, on the days that I know APLD is going to do its run up, and especially like tomorrow morning, right? If I see APLD do its morning drop and it hits bottom and it goes to turn, I might not buy APLD. I might buy APLX because it's a 2-time, right? So if I'm buying things at $10 a share, then it's really like buying it, and it's going to do, in essence, $20 a share, because you're going to do 2 times your money. It's 2 times faster. But I'm pretty excited about it. I'm gonna monitor it. I don't just jump right into things like that either. I'm gonna kind of watch, see how it ebbs and flows. But the only thing about something like that is you have to understand that if it flatlines, your money's gone, really. I mean, like, there's no saving it if it flatlines. So you got to be very careful with those types of ETFs or plays. So be careful. So tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to watch APLD. I'm going to watch SoundHound because, SoundHound, we didn't talk about SoundHound. So SoundHound today had a couple little bumps up, but pretty much was on a pretty consistent run down today. All right. And And I'm going to be looking to see what SoundHound does in the morning, because chances are SoundHound will be my next play tomorrow, because if it did the rundown, I'm getting into SoundHound. And that's kind of how I balance SoundHound, APLD, Serve Robotics, CNC, CCL, all these different stocks that I look at. Lesser value, or I should say cost per share, is how I'm trading a lot. So anyway, I'll be looking at those. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty awesome day today. Now we do have some news at 8:30 tomorrow that could potentially, let me not forget to share with everybody. And I know I'm going to get some nasty comments, and I would just say, listen, just know that it's my opinion. You don't have to leave me nasty comments. And I do tend to find that the people that fight back the most about some things I say about stocks, if they feel like it's negative, are because you're in positions like I am with certain stocks, where you were in it, say, at $25, and now it's sitting at 15, you're bag holding it and you're waiting. And so nobody likes to hear negative things about a stock that's not running well, that's not performing well. And I totally get that. So please don't be offended by this, because I did put an entire video out about this one specific stock, and it was negative, to basically say, like, hey, this stock is basically, to me, it's dead. Well, here's the thing. GameStop. Okay, I'm just not a fan of GameStop stock, but I'm in it right now because I bought it in the last earnings, and I'm in it at $29 a share, and I have a sell order at $30 a share. And I was hoping today, since they announced earnings after the bell closed, that I would be able to get out of my position and make $1 a share and be able to get out of it. Well, I didn't. You would have thought they had an incredible earnings result today. They beat expectations all the way across the board. Look at this. Here, I'm putting this up on the screen. Okay? They beat everything. And it ran like less than $2 up, and it came back down. It's still trading exactly where it was. Now, you would think, like most companies, you have these awesome earnings results, especially a company like GameStop that's got all kinds of things going on. Funko Pop, Pokemon cards, the new PlayStation, or this new gaming system, right? My son has it. I don't even know what it's called. But I can picture it. You hold it in your hand, red and blue little controllers on it. The Switch, okay? They came out with they got all this cool stuff going on, but they're just not moving the numbers. They're not moving. The stock's not going anywhere. And everybody says it's bullish, it's bullish, it's bullish, it's bullish. I don't see any bullish. It's been stuck at $22, $23, $24. So anyway, maybe one day, right? So here we go. I'm going to go another quarter, and I'm going to hold my shares of GameStop out of hope that it potentially will run one day and I'll make some money on it. But it didn't go anywhere today in earnings. I'm sorry to tell y'all. It didn't go anywhere in earnings today. Maybe we'll wake up tomorrow morning and be like, whew, look at this bad boy. But I don't think so. I'm sorry for you that are GameStop stock lovers, company lovers. I get it. I totally understand, and I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm a bag holder with you. So let's see what happens. But anyway, after that, it's so hard to ask you to subscribe to the channel. Some of you may be like totally frustrated with me, and I get it. But if you're here for the first time, thank you for visiting the channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, and drop me some comments. And if you want to hit me up about GameStop, go ahead. Hit me with the comments. Bring them on. I got a tough skin, and I love all of you anyway, and I appreciate you all being here, and we're just together continuing to build this channel, and that's all I really want to do. But I'm going to give it to you live, and I'm going to give it to you raw. So hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you all have an awesome night. Excited to see what the market does from 6:34 p.m. right now to 8 p.m. tonight, and how the market runs 24 hours on those that do run 24 hours. We'll see what happens at 4:30 in the morning and at the 9:30 bell. Hope we're getting rich together. Josh out. Peace.